What's going on, everyone? It's Brody back again to answer another tennis question. And today's tennis topic is going to be about tennis balls. And now you may be wondering, what in the world does he mean it's going to be about tennis balls? Isn't there just like a one and done tennis ball? And I'll tell you, there's actually quite a few different types of tennis balls, but I'm only going to cover two here today. The first one I'm going to cover is extra duty. Now, the reason that extra duty tennis balls are called extra duty is because that there is extra felt woven onto the tennis ball when it is made. What that does is that it allows the tennis balls to last longer on hard courts. The core of the tennis ball is protected more because of the extra felt, and that stops the ball from going dead quicker, which is typical of a regular duty tennis ball. If you compare the two side by side, you're using them on a hard court or just in general, typically a regular duty tennis ball will not last as long as an extra duty tennis ball because of the felt being more on the extra duty ball. It does take into account how hard the players are hitting, how much spin is being used on the ball, but typically in a side-by-side comparison with all other stats being the same, an extra duty tennis ball will last longer than a regular duty tennis ball. Main thing being the felt. Now, the reason that you would use an extra duty tennis ball, besides that you want it to last longer, is that you're playing on hard courts. These courts are very harsh to the tennis ball itself, not only the players who are playing on it, but that's why the extra duty felt will help even more because it allows the ball to last longer, play better, and just not overall deteriorate as fast. So if you're playing on hard courts, extra duty tennis balls are the way to go. One big way you can tell if you're using an extra duty tennis ball is that, let's say you bought a can of Penn Tours. You didn't know it was extra duty, you didn't know it was regular duty. If you just had the tennis balls in your hand, here's a quick way to tell is it'll say Penn, it'll say Tour on it, and then there will be a number. It's usually 1, 2, 3, or 4. Now, if that number is black meaning in black writing, you are typically using an extra duty tennis ball. That is a way to go ahead and help identify what kind of tennis ball you are using and if it is right for the style and the type of court that you are playing on. Now, for a regular duty tennis ball, this is your typical standard run-of-the-mill tennis ball. There's no extra felt on it. This one you can use in all situations. You can use either in all situations, but each specific regular or extra duty has its own special characteristics that it typically plays better with. But regular duty tennis balls, these ones, classic tennis ball, basic felt. What you can do is play with these on clay courts. These ones are really good for clay because they do not absorb or have the clay stick to them as much as the extra duty tennis balls do. When playing on clay, the more that you hit the ball, the more times it bounces on the clay, the more clay comes up and tries to stick to the tennis ball to change not only how it plays, but also change how much it sticks and causing a whole slew of problems that you have to adjust to on the fly. If you're using a regular duty tennis ball, there's not as much felt for the clay to latch onto, so that will allow you to play a little bit longer and have a more consistent level of play on a clay court with a regular duty tennis ball. Now, an extra duty tennis ball on clay courts, it can still be used, but the clay is going to stick onto it a lot more, so you have to be careful about just the ball getting dragged down more and more by the clay. Now, if you're using a regular duty tennis ball, like I was talking about with the extra duty, it's the same example on how to tell whether or not you are using a regular duty tennis ball. We'll use the same Penn Tour example. You got tennis balls, they say Penn, they say Tour, and then they have that number, either 1, 2, 3, or 4. If they have that number and that number is red, you're typically using a regular duty tennis ball. Quick, easy way to remember it. Black is extra duty, red is regular duty. There you go. Cool. And those are pretty much the main reasons of tennis balls. I will say one notable thing about these is that the extra duty tennis balls are typically used on the men's pro circuit in tennis, and the regular duty tennis balls are used in the women's circuit on tennis. I don't know the exact reason as to why. It may be that the male players tend to hit a little bit harder than the female players, so that they need extra felt on their tennis balls so that they last longer and so that the balls will just be able to sustain the type of level of play that they need as they're going through these tournaments. If you know everything and you know the exact reason, comment down below, let me know, and we'll get that information out to the people who need it. But with that being said, if you like the video, leave a like on it. Comment down below, like I said, if you know the reason for the tennis ball difference, as well as if you have any more questions. I'll be in the comments to help answer back as many as I can, as well as just share this video with a friend so that if they're confused on what they need or they're just starting out in the tennis, share this video with them so that they can also know what's going on, what they need to do, and which one that will last them longer so they don't have to keep going back and buying more and more tennis balls when they don't need to. So, as always, like the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel so we can grow this channel and get rid of a lot of the tennis misinformation that was in the tennis community. I saw a ton of it, so I took it upon myself to make this channel. So subscribe so we can share the message, as well as share the video with a friend if you got any value from it. And as always, take care.